Today is the 1st of January 2019, so I'd like to wish everybody a very, very happy new year. We are gathered here today to receive a message from Andromeda Val, and we are calling upon Cosmic Sai Baba, who always sets up the opportunity for us to connect to the galaxy Andromeda, and we welcome his presence. We'll call upon him with great love and respect. We call upon Cosmic Sai Baba to be with us today. Atmosphere in Australia. Thank you. It is I, Cosmic Sai Baba, and I am very pleased to be here. And I also wish everybody a very happy new year. 2019, indeed, it is a time of advancement, of evolution, if you like, from this level of consciousness. And I wish everyone well, with all divine light and blessings. Just call upon me if you are worried or concerned about anything, for I will come, or another will come on my behalf. Thank you, my children, thank you. Andromeda Val is waiting here now, and so I will call on her, and we welcome her here to this galaxy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am Andromeda Val, and I am very pleased to be here. Some may wonder how I can come so quickly and from so far, but it has been said that everything is happening at once. In other words, past, present and future is all happening at the same time. Some people will not quite understand when I say that everything is happening at once. It's the past, present and future is always with you, always available. And so that is why we are able to connect from Andromeda, 6,000 years ahead in your time of measurement, and also in the 1st of January 2019 in your galaxy M, the Milky Way. So I can explain that more if you would like, but it is really very simple. It is all relative. And so from that point, it is a matter of clearing your mind, focusing, and making from a centered self a commitment to connect to wherever you want at whatever time in the past, present or future. This can be explained by others. It may mean more to you, but it is a reality, and focus is important. For it is when you focus, it is your consciousness that is then taking over and helping you to, shall we say, read the past, or to speak of the present, or see into the future. So I would like to now speak my language. It will settle the energies in the room, and it would give me pleasure to wish you all a very happy new year in your time, in your base, in your planet. Hikoi. Kan om ni kan ha som rollen såna riktigt en galop titta. Innan jag titta la det kolla ja. I jag när man kan då diken no ali kan matu tu ha. I om atu in de kategorie only and only kada in orino to mid of the So that gives me joy in sharing the language from where I come. And I hope you have understood it is a greeting and wishing health, happiness and long life for you all on your planet Earth. And so from now I have agreed to actually answer any questions And I believe you have 3 questions for me today. And so it would be my pleasure to, I hope, be able to give some clarification. So may I have your first question?
Yes, first question. Is it correct that our DNA strands will have to be increased to get into the 5th dimension, and how is it done?
Well, it is true. Your DNA does govern your health and everything that happens to you in a physical earth body, and it is linked with your light body. I have explained that at another time. And so this is the bodies that you have on earth. You have all been made aware that your light body is what keeps you alive, and it keeps your heart ticking. But you are speaking of the DNA of the earth body, the human, and yes, it is made up of strands of DNA. It is changing. Many children born, or babies born now into this time of where you are in your evolution of the Milky Way, are being born much more alert and more, advanced DNA, or evolved DNA would be a better word, and yes, that does help to connect to an increased world of consciousness that is in what has often been described as the 5th dimension, and that is in preparation for the golden age, which has been prophesied all down through your time of learning, shall we say. And so an increase in the DNA does take place, and it can take place in those that are already born here and are quite aged. It is possible for that to be advanced and increased and made healthier and actually younger, in the sense that it is an increase in consciousness, more strength, more life force, and so people can become older and last longer, shall we say, in the human body upon this earth. And in the past that has happened because your earth has operated in a higher dimension at other times. It has fallen a few times, but now it is raising again into the 5th dimension. So the best thing, of course, is to follow your intuition, or conversations, as I have been putting it, with your God self. And from that overview of your over soul can be guided to do the best thing for your body, your earth body, and its health. It links with your light body, which is also raising in consciousness to match your oversoul. So I hope I'm making myself clear a little. You can improve yourself by intuitively being aware of consciousness at all times, and that is to think in a very positive way at all times, to train your brain to focus on positive things and to just delete, if you like a computer, any negative thoughts that may stray into your mind, fullness, and delete that, because it is of no use to you in your evolvement at all. Other things, of course, about drinking and water, any drinks that were healthy and clear. There is a lot of pollution upon your planet, and we have warned you about that in many ways, not just in water, but the air and the earth itself, and so forth. Because you are part of all that environment, you are polluted also. So I would encourage you to drink a lot of water, but at the same time ask for a blessing from the source of all creation, from the highest order, to bless the water, to bless the food, and to bless even clothes that you wear or medications that you may be taking, All these things need to be blessed so that they rise with the dimension that is raising and ascending upon this earth. Despite what anybody to do has got to do with it, it is an edict that will go ahead regardless. We are coming from Andromeda trying to help you to understand it is important to care for everything that you are eating, drinking, looking at, wearing, feeling, in everything that you can possibly come in contact with. And be aware there is a blessing needed from the highest point. And that will help to depollute, if I can use that word, your atmosphere and your Mother Earth herself. She is crying out for love, awareness, and her consciousness needs to be assisted. So please, please think of her and help her in the best way you can intuitively do so. And so that is the answer, I hope. Does that help you?
Yes, thank you.
And is there another question?
Yes. In New South Wales, Australia, dinosaur teeth were recently found to be opalised. How did dinosaur teeth become opalised?
You are asking how the dinosaurs' teeth became opalised?
Yes.
Indeed, that is linked with the information that has been given. Two people, and in particular through Valerie in her work when holding a sacred Alcaringa stone, back in your years, 1994, I think it was. Now I say I think because the times are different in different times. So the thing is, it has been recorded in a book, and it was about Uluru, where the well-known ancestor of the Aboriginal people says he lives, and he does. And he was behind bringing Uluru, which is an asteroid, bringing it with a trail of other, shall we say, comets behind it, that came and destroyed the dinosaurs that were living upon this earth that was known as Pangaea, or Australia now, and landed in the middle of the whole of the nation of Australia. At that time, it was an Andromeda sea, and it landed a fiery mass into that sea and caused a kind of exchange of heat and cold and a mixture of chemicals that were in the earth. It was no accident. It was actually arranged to do just that, to opalize bones of dinosaurs, and there are many, but not found yet. And so that people would question why these dinosaurs that lived on the land which you call Australia now, why they were opalized and how. And that is it. It was the time that Uluru, as an asteroid, came and landed in the middle of your Earth, or the land that is called Australia, and it caused a massive structure and subterranean structures to be shaken up and built out, emissions from volcanoes and earthquakes that opened up and swallowed earth or swallowed water or released water. It was quite an upheaval of your planet Earth. It was an edict that came from the angelic realms of Andromeda to destroy the dinosaurs. It was not a decision made lightly, and they were very unhappy about having to do this. But the atmosphere upon the earth was not being kept or maintained the way it should have been, the way it was created in the first place as the Garden of Eden. And I have already said that the planet Earth was created by the angelic realms from Andromeda, M31. And so we, from Andromeda, have always had an interest in this planet and also in its evolvement. And of course, in the evolvement of the human also. And so this was the reason, or how, these bones became opalized, because it would be an unusual occurrence from an archaeological perspective, and we hoped that in the future, which is now, in your time, would be questioned and wondered about, and why? Because of a very, very high heat that at the time was actually hotter than your sun. And so this is the way the opal was created inside the bones of the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs were leaf-eating creatures that actually were eating so much foliage, the atmosphere was being affected and the oxygen was being lost. Also, the bodies of the dinosaurs were in battle sometimes, or even when they died, their bodies were too slow in going back into the earth, and caused odor and interference with the chemical and the reaction of the physics of the breath, shall we say, that everything was taking from your atmosphere. So it was, as I said, a decision that was taken not lightly, but it did help to bring back the atmosphere that was first meant to be. And I would like to remind you now at this point that this is a time to rethink about your atmosphere and worry about it. Please, please correct it, for it can be a problem for those that are living on this planet. But I have come not to speak mainly about that, so is there another question you would like to ask?
Yes. Sasquatch, Yeti, Bigfoot, Yowie, large and small, are they all the same around the world? And who are they? And do they have a mission on Earth?
They do indeed, actually. They are often referred to as the animal man. They were created by other races that came to this planet in its early stages of evolvement, millions of years ago, and billions in fact. So it is a time when the planet was first created. It evolved to live creatures walking on the planet, and then after the dinosaurs there were also more creatures brought, because everything upon this planet has come from somewhere else. And so the creatures that lived were used or created by other, so we say reptilian Draco type races, had come. They wanted to mine gold, and so they created a creature that could live, survive, and help them to mine the gold. That was the thing. But they were used as slaves. And so, again, the angelic realms were concerned and worried about the lives of these beings that had been created without permission from the source, and that were being used also for that I say, offerings to the gods that was said to exist that would only feed off these offerings. And so it was complicated, but not right. It was never meant to be in the Garden of Eden, which was one of love and compassion. And so These beings needed help, and help was sent from the Pleiades and from Sirius, because the angelic realms required and called for help to be set up in this corner of the galaxy, the Milky Way, where the planet Earth was, and where these slave beings were being misused and mistreated. And so they were, shall I say, a race that had been created by many, many other influences from other worlds, other races. They are often called these Yetis or Yowies or Bigfoots, as you call them. They are all the same race. Some of them being caught up by, shall we say, dark forces. Others have kept on the road or path that was meant to be from the source of God and God's path. The hair upon these beings, the Sasquatch, as sometimes called, originally came from another race from Sirius called the Leonine race. It was hair, and it's sometimes described, they were used also to first form the ape creatures, but there was a separate branch from then that became ape-like creatures, which you can refer to as the animal man, because it is the animal man's genes that were used along with the star people's genes to help create the human. Human meaning main, light, man. And that is the ones that you are now and have evolved to. Those races still exist also, that particular branch, that live in the next world, the next dimension, and this dimension sometimes. They are not limited in any way. They go about living and having families and living love, and they hold that love and compassion within them because they have been then evolved to the human that you are in the many races that you are on this planet Earth now. So cultures have evolved also to separate the races of the human, but it always has been evolvement, and it needs to go back to the original teachings from the world of light, which is to love one another, to help one another, and to care for one another. This is what the Sasquatch, the Bigfoots, the Yowies do all the time. And with that love and energy operating upon your planet Earth, it helps the energy to flow out and touch the human that have lost the way. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, my children. Thank you. Now, is there any, I think that is the last question. Is that right?
Yes, thank you.
Well, with great love and respect from me, I am happy to have come, and I look forward to the opportunity of coming again. We bring love. We always care upon the evolvement upon the planet. We hope and pray that you will listen to your intuition, which is coming from your soul consciousness, and it is from your soul consciousness that we are actually speaking to you or sending words of encouragement, of love, compassion, and prayers that you will make good decisions to help Mother Earth. Thank you, my children. Thank you. Thank you. My God bless you.